Okay, awesome. KJ Lamont, I'm watching. Great. Jeffrey Stevens, you can see it. Awesome. Lee Schulman, happy Friday to you. Andrew, welcome. Good morning. Sorry about this. I had to push over the chat because it wasn't popping up. I wanted to make sure I could see all of you guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's get this thing started. Greetings, friend. Welcome to the live stream. I picked out some puzzles today, 3 recommended to me over the last month. I thought we could solve these together. In between the solving, I have some special shout outs to give to Smarty Party members and supporters. So you know I did the end of month shout outs. I'm going to do it during the live stream in between the puzzle solves. I got a lot of names to shout out. Thank you so much for your support and help me grow the internet's best Sudoku community. All right, for the chat, please be respectful of other people in the chat. You guys are doing a great job of that. I'll try solving the puzzles on my own. If you do see something, you can put it in the hint, an answer or hint in the chat, and I'll scan over there from time to time. There is a little bit of a lag I have to deal with, and I'll do my best to respond to questions. I do plan to kind of stop periodically to field questions, and there I'm going to put that in. All right. For some reason, I'm trying to put in the chat here the rules of the chat. It's not letting me do it. I don't know why. Let me try it again. Oh, it looks like it's too long of a sentence there. Okay. All right. What I'll do here is I'll put the link for the first puzzle in. And I want to give you a little story about it because it's pretty cool. So Dr. Suresh sent me this puzzle. He says, Timberlake, can you solve this? But not just normally. Can you actually solve it with no marks? It should be medium level. I don't want to use any Snyder notations, color marking, because everyone tries to do notations. He wanted to see if I could solve it without any marks. Lots of love from India for your efforts of teaching techniques and solving Sudoku in easy, simpler methods than anyone else. I will do that for you. We're going to do this first one, Classic Sudoku, no marks. And with that, it's solving time. Okay, so I will just kind of look in what I see here. And if I might use some coloring, not to help me, but more to show what I see to help you, the viewer. With these ones, in this one, you can solve for 1 right there. The only place in block 5. There's 2 places for 1 here in block 4. I don't see anything else I can do with the 1s right away. With these 3s, there's only 1 place for a 3 in block 2. So without marking, I'm going to kind of look for restrictions with the cells and the digits. I expect to see lots of naked hidden singles, but if there are pairs, I'll try to color that as I go. And if you do see something, feel free to point it out. What else do we have with the 3s? 3 places for a 3 here with this 3. 2 places there. Okay, how about the 4s? 2 places for a 4 here. I'm going to quickly check to see if there's like a hidden pair. There's not. The 5s, 2 places for a 5 there. Doesn't help. The 7s we can solve with these 7s. Only place for a 7 in block 4 is right there. And then with this 7, this is basically a pointing triple of 7s, right? So where can a 7 go in row 2? Can only go right here. Be a pointing pair with that 7. What else can we do with the 7s? Now with this 7 and these 2 7s. Got a 7 right there. 2 places for a 7 here. And that's all I can do with the 7s. And then with the 8s, this 8 cutting across, 2 8s there with this 8, 2 8s there. But we do have a lock triple. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here in row 2, which pushes a 2, 8, and 9 here. Neat naked triple trick. 8 and 9 are right there. 9's repeated. You can solve all 3. That's got to be your 2. The 9 can only go right here, and that's going to be your 8. And then with these 2 8s, impact on the column, you can solve for an 8 right there. Nice. All right. What else do we have here? we've created a heavy house in block 1. You just got a 1, 4, and a 6. 6, 4 here. Not enough restriction to make a solve there. So kind of look for other avenues, other impacts of the solve. You have a heavy house in column 2. So you just need a 1, looks like a 1, 3, and a 4. 4 and a 1 are right there, so that's got to be your 3. And then with this 1 repeated, there's your 4, there's your 1. See how that works? And now with this 4, there's going to be your 4, there's going to be your 6 to finish block 1. Okay, another lock triple going on in column 3. Got a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get a 1, 2, and a 3. 1, 3 here, and the 1 repeated. So another neat naked triple trick. I have a tutorial triple cell solving tricks. I put this on here. Basically, you see 2 to 3 looking at one of the cells. You can solve that right away. And 1 repeats, you know that has to go in the 3rd cell, and then the 3 goes right there. So you can solve by knowing and seeing this kind of a pattern. You can solve 3 cells at one time. I don't see a 6 in block 4, so this 6 has to go here, which forces a 5 right there. I know I won't be able to solve either of these because there's nothing else in the block outside of the rows. So we need to go somewhere else. Look at impact, row, column, block, the digits that we've added here. Let me see. We got these 2 9s. Solve that for 9 now. I think that's been there for a while. And these 9s, you can solve for 9 right here. So this is fun. It's a good practice with these 9s. That's got to be a 9. And so now I know with 4 9s looking in block 9, you can solve for 9 here. With empty blocks, as soon as you can start putting a few digits in there, it just opens them up quite a bit. But it's not like my main focus because you're going to have more restriction in like row 6 here, which only has 3 remaining cells, which we're going to be able to solve at least one of them because the 4 has to go here, and that would put a 2 and a 3 there. Don't have a 2 or 3 in the column. 5 or an 8 here, and I don't have a 5 or 8 in the column, so we can't solve that. But we can look here at these restrictions. This could be 5 or an 8. This could be a 2 or a, looks like a 6. Can't solve any of those yet. Okay, so where do we go? Probably looking for naked hidden singles. Kind of recage my efforts here. What do you guys see? All right, I peeked in the chat. What we got, again, another heavy house is where I'm going to focus. 2, 4, 6 here. So 4 looks at this cell. 4 looks at this cell. This has to be your 4. And so that leaves you with a 2 and a 6. What do you have up here? It looks like a 1, 2, and a 6 with these 1s. Solve that for a 1 with this 6. There's your 6, there's your 2. And so I'm just going to go for those heavy houses as we make these solves. And remember now that we figured out this has to be 5 or 8. This has got to be, looks like 2 or 6. And so now you got the 2 there. There's your 2. And there's your 6. You can solve for the 2 right there. Solve for the 2 there. Put the 1 right there. And then with these ones, you can solve for the 1 there. And then the puzzle's going to go a little bit quicker now that we've added some more of these cells in. 3, 5, 7. 3, 7 here. Well, looks at that cell. It's already taken. 7 looks at that cell. 3 looks here. Actually, can't solve that yet. So look for another heavy house. What do you got across here? It looks like you need a 4, 5, and a 7. Can't solve that. What's down this way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. Need a 5, 6, and an 8. 5 there. I don't see the 6 and an 8. 6s are in these 2 spots. Can we do better than that? There's got to be something I'm just missing here. You got all the odds in row 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Need 2, 4, 6, and 8. Well, 2, 4 here. 2, 4, 6 here. This is where we're going to get the solve. That's a naked single 8. That's going to be a 6, which leaves you with a 2, 4 there. This 8 is going to let you do the 8 and the 5 here, which means the 5's got to go there. Now you're looking for, looks like 3 and a 7. All right. This is going to be your 2 and the 4 there. 3, 7. 3, 5, 7. Let's see if I can do better than that. What's across this row? 1, 2, 4, 5, 9. Either 3, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, 6, 7. Okay, so 6, 6, 6. Nothing demonic here, but that's going to be your 6. And I need a 3, 7, 8. Can't solve there. What's across this row? Looks like you need a 3, 5, 3, 5, 7. I've looked at a couple times. Can't solve that. 2, 4. So where am I getting stuck? I'm getting a little stuck. I don't know why. 2 or 3 there. What's up here? It looks like 2 or an 8 there. Huh. 3, 7 there. All right. This is an interesting little situation here. I'm not really seeing where the solve is. That's got to be a 2 or an 8. Okay. This has to be a 2, 4, or a 5. 2, 8, 2, 4, 5. That's got to be a 5 or an 8. Can't do that. That's got to be a 2 or a 3. Interesting. Okay. This has got to be a 2 or a 4. What am I missing? I feel like it's so obvious. If you put it, if this is a 2 or a 4 in these two cells, maybe I'm just looking at this too hard. 3, 5, 7, 8 in these cells, right? 3, 5. You got the 8 cuts across here. 7, 8. 3, 8. I don't know why I'm getting so stuck on this puzzle. What is what's the chat saying there? All right. Am I just missing like a pointing pair? Maybe with the 5s. No, it's not the 5s. Yep, we are taking suggestions there, Eric. Good morning to you. Hey, awkward. 3, 7. Okay, so let me think here. With this 8 there, that means 8's got to be in one of those cells. Yep. 8's got to be in one of these cells, and 8's got to be in one of those cells. Okay, that's what it is. 8 can't be here, here, or here. Here's your 8. A little slow there. It's a nice hidden single 8, which is going to make this your 2, which puts a 2 here, 3 there, 2 there, 4 there. With these 4s, that's got to be your 4. 7, 5. And with this 5, there's your 5, there's your 5. There is your 8. There's going to be another 8. With the 7, that's got to be the 3, 3, 7, and a 7. Okay. A little slow there. I had a hard time finding that hidden single 8 in column 4. Kind of fun. All right. I appreciate that, Dr. Suresh. And like he said, he did not want me to use any marks. And it was a good little exercise there, kind of find naked hidden singles. I do appreciate that. Now we're going to do some shout outs. So I will be repeating these in my newsletter. It's going to come out probably beginning next week around Monday. And in my newsletter, if you have become a member, or if you've just downloaded the free solving guide, you can opt in to getting my monthly newsletters. I try to talk about what's going on in the channel, and I do the shout outs and thank people. Also, what's going to come up, things I'm looking to do. Very exciting stuff. Every month I'm surprised of how much different things I'm doing. I actually have some really exciting things in the works in the next few months. I can't give it away now, but it's based on some of the feedback you've given me in the comments. I can't even believe I'm going to be a part of something like this. It's going to affect the whole Sudoku community. But so for the April monthly shoutouts, everyone gave me a coffee, a tip, they bought me a coffee, or super thanks on YouTube. This is who I want to thank right now. And again, you will get notified of this also in the newsletter. So thank you so much. Jeffrey David Hogan, George Luft, Martin, Luann Thatcher, Randall Hartford, Det 4181, Siganthi Srinivasan, Felix Wright, Dar, Tracy Adams, who I did get to meet at SudokuCon. Tracy, thank you so much. Dezo Disdario 1, Patrick Smith, Pivoire, JD Atkins, Alec Bridges, Mike Shelton, Chris, Robert Gillis, Paul Milkey, Ulf Lundberg, Anderson, John Quarto, Ed Walters, Jeff Melville, Ofer Benari, Deborah Mitchell, Lars Jensen, David Higginbotham, Tim Hurd, Michael Blythe, Burned, and JG. Thank you for buying me coffees, for giving me extra tips on buying me a coffee, and for the super thanks through YouTube. I appreciate it. It is very awesome to see that, and you're helping me grow the channel. I do invest this back into the channel to get you better setters, better puzzles, better puzzle packs, work on courses, all this thing, so that I can give you better content. Okay, let's move on to puzzle 2. So puzzle 2, this is also very, very cool. So Skybourne, I'm going to show you this on the channel first. So Skybourne made Sudoku puzzles that relate to songs. So this right here, this Stream No Zeros, you notice how there's a note and then there's a rest and a note and a rest. Well, these notes correspond to digits in the puzzle. The rests are blanks. And if you read through all of this, there's going to be 81. And then if you hit the play button, it will play the song. I don't want to give that away. There is a link in the description for it, and I'll put a link to the puzzle for you and the sound. Well, definitely for the puzzle right now. Check out the description of this live solve to get the SoundCloud link. Awesome, awesome. So he put in 2 puzzles there. This is the one I'm going to solve, the one I showed you, Stream No Zeros. There's another puzzle he did that it's called Gin and Tonic, DJINN, Gin, like Genie. I'm going to make a solving video out of that. It's a little bit harder, so I wanted to cover every strategy of that. This one, though, Stream No Zeros, he says it's easier. I haven't solved it yet, so I'm solving it for you live. Looking forward to getting your feedback on it. All right, let's get started with solving time, Stream No Zeros. I will do traditional solving methods here. So ones are restricted in block 7. Nothing else with the ones. Twos, only 1, 2 in the puzzle. Can't do anything there. Threes. All right, 1, 3 in block 6. Threes in block 3. With these threes and this 3. 2 places for a 3 in block 1. With these threes and this 3. Solve for a 3 in block 8. Nothing else I can do with the threes. Let's move on to the 4s. With these 2 4s. Only place for a 4 in block 1 is right there, which makes a pointing pair of 4s in block 7, which will restrict the 4s here in block 4 to column 1. Okay, what else can I do with these 4s? You'll notice here, because this 4 comes down, you'll see that 4s cannot be in rows 4 or 6 in blocks 1 or in blocks 4 and 5. So where does the 4 go here? In row 5, it's got to be right there. So it's a claiming pair of 4s. Hopefully you see that. 4 can't be there, or there. So now 4 can't be in this spot. What else can I do with these 4s? I think that is it. Let's move on to the 5s. 2 places for a 5 in block 2. With these 3 5s, solve for a 5 in block 6. 2 5s in block 5. With this 5 coming down, hopefully you'll see this. 1s and 5s on top of each other. You got a 1 5 hidden pair, which is going to make this a 2 4 hidden pair. So let's look at the impact. Row, column, block. So now you got a 1 2 3 4 5 8. So this is now a 6 7 9. I'm just going to mark these BVCs. That can't be a 6, and this can't be a 7, but we're going to do better than that here, because I can already see. I'll come back and finish the 5s. 7's got to be here in block 4, displacing that 4. And now it's going to restrict the 4s right there. Hopefully you see that. Okay, so where was that? I was with the 5s. And one of the reasons I do the solving in order is just I know digits 1 through 9. I know that I've cleared out 1 through 4 already. So I see something interesting here because of the 5s restricted here, and then with, let's see here. Yeah, can't do anything else with the 5s yet. I thought I saw another pair, but it's not the case. Not a claiming pair there. All right, 6 is restricted there in block 8. 2 places for 6 in block 3. And we're going to do better than that because this is actually a pointing pair of 6s. So you can solve for 6 in block 3 there. You have a 5 in row 7, he says. Okay. All right, let's go on here. What else can we do with the 6s? 2 places for 6 here in block 4. 7s, maybe you guys are looking at this full house and going, man, Timberlake, can you just solve that? Yep, I will. I'll ease your suffering. What else can we do with the 7s? Solve for 7 in block 3. And 2 7s in block 1 and block 2. How about the 8s? 2 8s in block 6. 3 8s here. Can't mark, not going to mark that. 2 8s in block 8. Okay. 9s. We're going to have a hidden pair 6 9 right there because the 9s and the 6s are both restricted to these 2 cells. What does that mean? These have to be a 2 or an 8 naked pair. And so now you'll see 2 8, 2 8, 1 5, 4 7. This has got to be, looks like 3 6 or a 9. So this is going to be a 3 6. You're getting a lot of BVCs here, and this is going to be a 3 9. Interesting. What else does that do impact wise? You can solve for 9 in block 8. So kind of always go back to the basics there and solve for 9 in block 9. So I want to get all those easy solves out as quickly as possible. So I went through all the digits 1 through 9. Now I'm going to go back and through and see, what can we do? Also look for some more pairs. We got a 2 here in block 2. And so we didn't start off with a lot of 2s, but we're starting to add those 2s in there. I've noticed that. You have a 1 or a 2 here. BVC, I'll put that in. I'll check the chat. Column 2, row 9. Column 2, row 9. Okay. You got a 1, 2, 4, 5 there. Nothing. All right. So I'm going to look at heavy houses as well. 1, 2, or 3 here. Is there anything I can mark? Yeah, BVC wise, I can do 1 or 2. And then, again, this is going to be a 1, 2, 4, 5. I don't really want to mark that. I don't think that's going to help us. What about across here? You got a 3, 5, 6, 7. I need a 1, 2, 4, 5. So that's a 1, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. Can we do better than that? I feel like there's more going on here than I'm missing. And here you got a 1, 5, 7. So that's going to be a 1, 5. I'm just going to focus on bi-value cells, see what I can find here. Here you got 1, 2, 4. That doesn't help. So I think I may have to start looking for some advanced strategies here. What we can do is make this 4s a pointing pair because 4 can't be there. How does that impact things? Now across here with this 1, 2, 4, 5. I mean, it just makes these a 1, 2, 5. Doesn't really help too much, except now the 5s are claiming pair. Oh, I see. Maybe you guys point that out. That's a 1, that's a 5. Sorry about that. Screamer cell, I call that, when you're just seeing the solve there and I'm not picking up on it. Okay, finish that there. All right, what else does that do? Gives you a 1, 2, 4 down here, okay. And 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. This is a 2, 4, 8. So that's going to be a 4, 8. Again, I want to focus on the BVCs. I'm trying to see if I can pick something up with bi-value cells as we go along. The 6, 9 there and 3, 7, 5. You have a 1, 2, 4, 8. So this has got to be a 1 or a 2. All right. And this would be 1, 2, 4, 8. Can't do anything with that. But I'll notice there are some 1, 2s starting to pop up here. That's interesting. And then look across here, 2, 5, 8. So that'd be a 5-8. And this will be a 2-5-8, not helping. What about across here? 1-2-4-8. So that's a 1-4-8. And not helpful. This is a 1-7. All right, let's see, look at the chat. Row 2, column 7. Maybe it's row 3, column 7. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? When I'm looking, you're saying row 2, column 7. That would be here. So I'm not really sure what the comment's saying. We got a 1, 2, 3. So that's a 1, 3. That'd be a 1, 2, or 3. And you see, I'm looking for that inspiration, right? What's going to be the thing that solves this puzzle? I feel like there's something going on with the 1s and 2s, or the 1, 2s, and 4s. So I'm just going to fill out, and then I might start looking at the single candidate strategies. That's a 1, 4, 8, and this looks like 1, 2, 4, 8. Yep. Okay, what's in here? Again, another 1, 2, 4, 8, but it can't be a 4, so that's a 1, 2, 8, and 1. Oh, I see. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Makes this, and I want to make sure I got this right. Yeah, because that's a naked pair. That's got to be your 4, and that's going to be the 8. All right, so that's good. Nice little naked pair. Clean all this up, and now you can clean up the 4 here. Nice. Okay, and again, what I'm seeing, oh, this is really nice. Hopefully, maybe you guys see this. You can solve this cell right here. Yep. All right, so here we go. We'll do a little coloring. This has got to be a 1 or a 2. This has got to be the opposite. This has got to be the same. And this has got to be the opposite. So if this is a 1, then all the blues are 1s, and all the oranges are 2s. If it's not a 1, the only other thing it can be is a 2, because it's conjugate pair. So this is a 2, then these have to be 1s. So no matter what, one of these, a blue, has to be a 1 or 2. The other's got to be the opposite. And so you can eliminate a 1 or 2 from any cell that sees both. So I just did some 5-value coloring there, multicoloring, or remote pair. Really, it's a 4-cell remote pair, which means that this cell can't be a 1 or a 2. You can solve that for a 5. Nice. Very nice. All right. Love that. It's like one of my favorite strategies. I always feel like it's a cool strategy to do. Now, what's the impact? Well, you know, that's got to be a 1. That's got to be a 5. That's got to be your 7. Impact row, column, block. There's a 2. There's a 1. There's a 2. We're going to be able to figure out all those cells in the remote pair very quickly. You got a 1 and 2 in the row, so that's got to be a 3. That's going to be your 1. Nice. With this 7 now. That's a 6. That's a 3. That's a 9. That's a 7. Nice. This is going to be a 9 and a 6 right there. Okay, what else can we do with this 2? 4, 2, disambiguate those. And the 2 and the 4, that's got to be your 1, which puts a 1 here. Okay, and we're going to move the 2. So you got a 4 right there. Move the 1, 2 there. So we know this has to be the 8 and the 2. This is going to be the 4, 8, and the 4. All right, with this 8, that's got to be 8. And our last digit is a 5. Nice, nice. I like that. Stream No Zero, Skybourne. Thank you for sending this to me. That was a fun puzzle, and I liked seeing the little remote pair there. Hopefully you guys saw some of that. And yeah, you know, welcome Suresh, Jane, Phil Parker. Who else I missed? Lee Schulman, thanks for being here. Eric Farine, The Warrior, awesome. Maybe that's Road Warrior. Awkward. Anyone else I might have missed? J. Lamont, thank you so much, all of you, for joining. Okay, great job there. Please check out and listen to Stream No Zeros. It's only 46 seconds. It's a pretty decent song, actually. Time for some more shout outs here. All right, so welcome new Smarty Party members. If you're not members of the Smarty Party, what that means is I send you monthly newsletter, but more importantly, you get a monthly puzzle pack coming out in May. Maybe you just saw it. And I'll put some more, I'm going to announce it more on Monday on my post. It's called the Everest Challenge. It's featuring puzzles by Ashish Kumar. So Mount Everest was summited in May 1953. So we're kind of celebrating that in the month of May. It's what the people at SudokuCon voted for theming. They wanted to do the Mount Everest. The other choice was to do horse racing, like Kentucky Derby stuff, Triple Crown winners. They wanted to do Mount Everest, and they wanted skyscrapers. So the featured puzzle pack has skyscrapers in it, kind of think about mountains and high things. You want to check that out. So Smarty Party members get that. They also, if you're a Classic Smarty, $5 a month or more, you get a solutions video at the end of the month. But if you solve it and send me the correct solution by the 20th, I will give you a shout out on the next live stream. So in this case, I first want to welcome the new members: Julia A. Braun, Dennis Abalikoff, Melvin Fern, Jen Starr, Trina Camartin, Catherine Youngkin, Tom Richards, Jerry Swafford, Johan Kraus, Cynthia Pruitt, Mike, and Peter. Welcome to the Smarty Party. Thank you for your support. So excited to have you as members. And then for everyone who saw the April 2025 pack, you may remember it was the Man in the Iron Mask theme with puzzles by Akash Dulani, Mike Mott, Carol Emmerich, Road Warrior, Nick Walter, Aaron Wells, Jen Starr, Rick Adams, Trina Camartin, Brian Driver, Paul Monet, Julie B., and Elizabeth Smolin all solved that pack. And I'm giving you the shout outs right now. Congratulations. It was quite fun. And if you want to take advantage of these packs, please click on the link below. I will put a link to join the Smarty Party. And one of the features I offer is that you can get old packs. If you're a member, I put old packs, previous packs, on my shop page on Buy Me a Coffee. And so you can go and download the older packs for free if you're a member. If you're not a member, it's $5 a pack. Every now and then I do run discounts where you can get it a little bit cheaper. They're well worth solving. I put tutorials in there. There's always a theme strategy. You'll get much better at solving by doing it. Okay, so that's the shout outs. The last shout out I have is going to be the contributions to AIM. And I'll just do that now so I don't forget. And then we'll go into our third puzzle. The third puzzle is Extreme Rated Puzzle by the Lonely Loner who sent it to me. But again, I want to give a shout out to AIM. So AIM is Agape International Ministries, or Missions. And what they do is they combat and fight human sex trafficking around the world. I found out about it a few years ago. I know some people have gone on mission trips for them, so I thought it was a worthy cause to give. I donate a portion of all proceeds to AIM every month. So this last month, thanks to your support, able to donate $222 to AIM. The total for the year is $969, which is actually more than all that we gave last year. So as the channel grows, we can give more to the larger community. Thank you so much for your support in that. And I appreciate what we're doing with AIM. Okay, so this puzzle, the third puzzle I have for today, the Lonely Loner sent it to me and said, hey, I'm getting stuck. Can you help me out? It was on Sudoku.com. It was rated extreme. Now, I did look at the position where the loner got stuck, and I helped him or her out. I have not solved the puzzle completely, but I think this is good is to show you, how extreme is a Sudoku.com extreme rated puzzle. Because where I had to help, they had some neat strategies in there. I think you will enjoy this. And with that, it's solving time here. Okay. So with the ones, 2 places for a 1 in block 2. 3 ones here, not going to mark that. No other places that mark the ones. We'll go sequentially, digits 1 through 9. With the 2s, 3 places for a 2 here and here. I'm not marking those. All right. Let's go to the 3s. We have a pointing pair of 3s. right here because of this 3 in row 2 and this 3 coming up the column. So now 3s can't be in these spots. So 3s are restricted here, kind of like a claiming triple in block 4. Keep that in mind. Nothing else I see with the 3s. Move on to the 4s, we can get a solve. Because of these 4s, you got a 4 in block 2, 4 in block 5, pointing pair of 4s in block 7 because of these 4s. And then with this 4, restricts the 4s here, block 4, restricts the 4s in block 6, and 3 places for a 4 here, not going to mark that. How about the 5s? 3 places for a 5 here, not going to mark that. And 3 places there, I don't see any marks with the 5s. How about the 6s? Okay, with the 6s, I feel like I should be able to mark something, but no. I don't see any marks I can do with the 6s just yet. How about the 7s? Only 1 7. Doesn't help us out. How about the 8s? You can solve for an 8 now in block 1. And then 3 places for an 8 there. If you look at the impact, this is going to give you a 1 2 7. See the 1 and 2 right there. So 2 7 there, 1 7 there. Okay. And right now that shows us a 1 2 7. And then the 9s. I haven't looked at the 9s just yet. What I see are 2 9s here. I see 2 9s in block 3 and 2 9s in block 6. All right. Now we've gone through the digits 1 through 9. Now we're going to go back through. We did make a couple solves and see if there might be some easy solves that have been missed here. So impact here, row, column, block, what you have is a heavy house. At least 5 digits filled out. 2 5 and a 7. 5 and a 2 there means this has to be a 7, which gives you a 2 5. And we'll remove that. 2 5 naked pair in column 6. Okay. And then what's the impact? This 7. This is interesting here. So you got this 4, 5, and 7, right? They all look across row 9. So where does the 4, 5, 7 go in block 7? Can't go here or here. There's only 3 remaining cells. So the 4, 5, 7 have to go here. So you might see is that this is a hidden triple of 4, 5, and 7. The other way you look is if you maybe looked at all these other cells, you can notice this is going to be a naked pair 1 9. It just leaves a 1 9 in block 7. But this is good for you because now the 1 9 naked pair acts as a pointing pair. You can displace that 9, solve this for a 9. Nice. And then impact row, column, and block there is you put restrictions here on row 9. You end up with just a 3, 6, and an 8. This is going to be your 3, 8. That's 3, 6, 8. And looks like this would be a 3, 6, 8. And you want to continue on and go, okay, what other restrictions do we see in this puzzle? And notice here, you got a heavy house. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So you just need 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 9, 7. That's going to be a 3, 5 right there. These 2 1s means this is a hidden single 1. And that's 3, 5, 7. All right, just kind of chipping away here. Now what's the impact? And I'm going to always try to look at the heavy houses when appropriate here. So where else do we see abilities to make some solves? Okay, with these ones and this one and this one, you got 1s in block 9, column 8, row 5. Okay, what can be right there? Look at it could be 1, 2. Could be a 3, but it can't be and it could be a 4, but it can't be a 5. Could be a 6 or an 8. Okay. All right, you're saying that it should only be a 4. Yeah, I'll have to kind of think about that. All right. Let's move on here and see what else you can do solving wise. So 4, 9, 1, 2. So I'm trying to get my bearings back on where to do the next solve. Okay, so with these 8s, 8s are one of these 3 cells. 9s are one of those 3 cells. So what does that put up here? Looks like you got a 4. You got a lot of restriction in this cell. Looks like that could only be a 1 or a 3. 1 or 3, yep. 4, 5. No, it could be 1, 3, or 7. Okay, well, I mean, does that add on and make like a naked triple of some sort? And across here, what do we notice? 6s are restricted there. Okay. And then the 8s are restricted. So this is cool. Notice how the 8s are restricted there as well. So you got a 6, 8 hidden pair. So you can remove the 3 from right there. So this creates some good restriction for us, right? Since the 6 and 8 can only go in those 2 cells, that puts a 2, 3, 5 right here, which restricts the 3s to these 2 cells. And with this 3, and so the 3s are restricted there. All right, so that's helpful. And then what does that do impact-wise? 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So that'd make this a 2, 3. That's not a 3, 2, 7. Right? Because of the 3 here, 4, 5 there, you have a 2, 7 here. So this is a 2, 7 naked pair. So what's the impact now? There's got to be something about this naked pair here, right? 1, 2, 4, 7. Now you have 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. 3, 5, 9. That puts a 6, 8 there. I'm seeing something going on here. Because now you got a 6, 8 right there. We're going to add some more restriction. This is interesting. Okay. So 6, 8 there. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. 2, 5. That's what, 1, 4, 7. Hopefully you see that this is now, that's also, we'll put that a naked pair. All right. And now this can't be an 8. This can't be an 8. What does that do for our puzzle? I feel like there's something pretty significant here about this 6, 8. And this 6, 8. Yep. 4 in either column 8, row 7. Or column 2, row 7. Okay, I see. All right. So what puts right here? 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. The 1, 2, 4. I got a 5, 7 there. Let's see what the impact of this is. So this is interesting. 6, 8 hidden pair makes a 6, 8 naked pair. 2, 7. Trying to see what it does for the 5s and the 4s. Someone's talking about the 4s. 3s are restricted there. We knew that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 4's got to be there, there. Yeah, I see that. So 2, let's see here. Can't be a 2, can't be a 3. Could be a 4 or 7. Okay, 2, 3, 5. So that's a 4, 7. That's a 1, 4, 7. Here we go. Maybe you guys saw this. I like putting purple for naked triples. So this is a naked triple. 1, 4, 7. Which means this has to be a 3 now. 4 is restricted there. I think someone might have, was kind of hinting at that. Which means this can't be a 4, because it's going to be a pointing pair of 4s. Solve that for a 4. Nice. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 with the naked triple. 6, 8, 9. So that's got to be an 8, 9. This has got to be a 6, 8. And that's going to be the 6, 9. And now what you see is the 6s are here. And the 6s are there. There's a pointing pair of 6s. And now what do? We just made some good solves. All right, this 4, impact, row, column, and block. Means that's got to be a 4. And we can remove that as a color. Interesting stuff. What's the other impact here? 1, 2, 2, 7. I saw the 4s. Trying to look at where I just made more solves that can impact where I put digits here. Sixes go there. All right. What else can we do? Let's look here at this block. 1, 2, 4, 7, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. So 3, 5, 8, 9. 8 can't be there. That doesn't really help. One, 2, 4, 7, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. Feel like I'm right on the edge of something. I need to make maybe a few more marks here. So I know these can't be 3. Well, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. What can this cell be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So that's a 7, 9. Okay. 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. 9s can't be there. That doesn't really help. All right. Now I'm going to look here and see what I'm missing. This is you can consider extreme if you're just not paying attention to what can be done here. All right. How about we just look at impacts, because there's 3. That's got to be a 3. That's helpful. 1, 2, 6, 7 now. And then more points there. Okay. Yep. Thanks for pointing that out. I saw in the chat you guys did notice this with the 3. All right. What's across here? 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. I see a 3 and 8. So 2, 5, 6. Does that help? Not really. I'm trying to be careful not to mark incorrectly, but I think I'm being maybe too cautious here. This is 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. 1, 2, 8. So that's a 3, 5. And with the 3s here, 1, 2, 5, 8. Okay. All right. What are in these cells? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. And yeah, this is a little, I'd say, on the extreme side. I felt like this was one of the keys there, and then I just haven't been able to move past that. One, 2, 4, 7. So 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. This can't be a 9, and this can't be a 6. And right here, 1, 3, 4, 6. So 2, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. You can get rid of the 2 and the 7. Whoops. Get rid of the 1. So what could be right there? It can't be a 2 or 7. One can't be a 1, 2, 4, 7. Can't be a 3 or 6. So that's a 5, 8, 9. And that's an 8, 9. 3, 5, 6, 8, 6, 8. Okay. I am overlooking something here. 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. Yeah. Row 3, column 2. I'm looking in the chat. Yep. Nope. I'm seeing the same notes in the chat that you guys have. All right. 6s, 6s. 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 8. Okay, we're extending out here. I can do a little bit better solving. I know it. Well, 1, because of this 8, that's not 8. That helps. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, because that 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Not looking really good here. So then we look for single candidate strategies? What are the ones doing? All right, looking at the ones. Nothing there. How about the 2s? 2s? Let me see here. Oh, here we go. 2, 6. 2, 6 naked or hidden pair right there. That's helpful. So that gives us a 3, 5, 7, 9. So that now, aha. That can't be a 9. Hopefully you saw that. The 2, 6 hidden pair now makes a pointing pair of 9s. Now you can solve for the 9. And this can't be a 6 because of the pointing pair of 6s. This has to be the 6. Which makes 8s right here. Because this can't be an 8. So that's got to be your 6. And now we have a 3, 8. Naked pair there. That's, I think, what I was missing right there. Was this 2, 6 hidden pair. Not in an advanced strategy. Just overlooked it. This can't be an 8 anymore. Restricts the 8s right there. Let's follow these 9s. Means that has to be the 8. That's going to be your 9. And looks like, let's see here. 7s are right there. This can't be a 7. 5s are here. In one of these cells, so this can't be a 5. That's your 3. That's your 8. That's your 3. I'll keep these marked as 5s. Get rid of those 3s. You now have a 5, 8 naked pair right there. And let's see what else we can do here. 8, 8, 8, 8. And this 8, you can solve this for an 8 now. There's your 5, there's your 8. Let's get back on track. This 6, that's your 2. Gives us a 3, 5 naked pair. Looking good. And one of these has to be a 2 now. Means that has to be your 6. And what's the impact now? Put the 6 right there. The 1, 2, 7 pointing pair of 7s, which puts the 7 in this spot. Oh, hold on. Don't get too ahead of myself. A 7 could still be there. All right. Puts the 7s in those 2 spots. How about that? Get rid of the 3 there. Oops. Okay, I'm just hitting the wrong buttons here. Because of this 3, that's got to be a 3. And that's got to be a 5. And now with these 2 5s, there's your 5, there's your 7, there's your 9. Full house in row 4, which means this has to be a 3 now, which puts the 3 right there. This 5, that's your 7. Gives us a 4, 5. All right, and with this 7 cutting across, you can eliminate a 7 from right there. Put 7s in one of those 2 spots. This is a 2, 7. We're very close to the end here. I can tell. This 9 means you can disambiguate the 1, 9 here, which will put a 1 right there. Gives us a 2, 7. There's 7, there's 2. There's your 7, there's your 4, there's your 1, there's your 2. There's a 5, 2 right there, 5, 4 right there. Looking good with this 5, that's got to be your 2. 7, 2 right there. And remove those 2, so that's a 1, 5. Remove these 2s, clean up this a little bit. With this 2, there's 7, there's 2. Leaves you just a 1 and a 6 there. You got the 5, 7. This has to be the 1. There's your 5, there's your 1. There's your 7. And what you end up with is a 5 and a 3. Well, how about a 5 and the last digit being a 6? Okay. Yeah, that one got me stuck for a while. No advanced strategies. I never had to go to, I was about to look single candidates to look for like an X-Wing or something more advanced, but it just ended up being this hidden pair 2, 6 is what I missed. Also this 6, 8 hidden pair, which affected like the naked pairs over here and blocks 3, 6, and 9. Good stuff. You know, took me a little while to figure it out. Hey, thank you so much for the comments. I'm going to look here. I did all the shout outs. Suresh, GK, you're welcome for posting the video. Skull and Crossbones, good day. Australia, I love your comments, by the way. I love it when you comment to the videos. And thank you very much for the comments, Lee Schulman. I appreciate you that you liked watching that. I do want to do this. So a monthly occurrence, usually the first, second week, Friday of every month. I'll be doing a live stream. You guys can check it out. This is my way to connect with you. I really want to make a better effort of checking the chat. Thanks for the suggestions today. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, thank you so much for watching.